Alright guys, we are back today with another tailgate talk. It's been a little while since we've done a tailgate talk, so I'm kind of excited to be back out here on the tailgate of the Ram. We got a big topic today. This one was suggested to us by Jay Bartrug. He's in the Facebook group. He's actually one of the admins in the Facebook group. He does a good job in there. And when he suggested it to me, I knew right away, within about 5 minutes of thinking about it, this is going to be a two-parter. So without further ado, the topic today is Casey Anthony. Did she kill her child? No, that's not it. Of course she killed her child. Don't be an idiot. Look at all the evidence. The topic today is things to consider when buying an RV or trailer. So we'll get to the intro, we'll do a little bit of house cleaning, and we're going to dive right into this one. Alright guys, so like I said, right off the top we're going to do our house cleaning real quick, get that right out of the way. While you're watching this video, go ahead and give it a like, comment on it, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to it. I know most of you guys are pretty awesome about doing that. About every time I get on the computer I see that we've got more and more subscribers. And to be honest with you guys, I advertise this in the Facebook group and the Facebook group. Well, other than that, it's word of mouth. So for it to be up to, I think we're up to about 750 subscribers right now, is pretty awesome considering how little advertisement I really do on it. But a couple of new things. Last couple of videos were actually shot like well in advance of when they were released, so there's some new things we got to get out there that happened since then. We have an Amazon affiliate link now. We posted that on the Facebook group, so if you're in there, you already know about this, but a few of you have already used that, so that's great. That really helps the channel out. Puts a little bit of money back into the channel that we can use to get better equipment so that we don't have audio issues all the time, and use that to get, like I said, just better equipment, make the stuff roll out more regularly, higher quality, really kind of the direction that we want to move in, so that's good. If you're not in the Facebook group, you know, join up in there. That's up to about 350 people right now. Actually, a little quick note on that. Somebody, and I forget who you are, I should have grabbed your name before I came out here, but somebody had actually asked me a question in one of the comments of the videos that we had posted, and I didn't see it for like 3 or 4 days before I could finally get an answer to that person, and I apologize for that. But to be honest with you guys, the YouTube account stuff does not get checked as frequently as the Facebook group stuff does. So if you've got questions, really the best way to get an answer to it, the fastest way to get an answer to it, is in that Facebook group. And there's a lot of good people in there that answer questions really well. There's a lot of knowledgeable people. I don't know how we got that many knowledgeable people in there, because I'm really not that smart. So the fact that I've got that many people, you know, that are smart surrounding me is kind of amazing. And then last thing is we released this a couple of videos ago. I think it was on one of the campsite cooking videos, but we talked about your camping horror stories. We've got a couple of those to come in. We're going to start rolling those segments out too, so keep sending those in. Links to all of this stuff will be in the description of this video. Just scroll down and you will find all of them. Monica does a good job of labeling them and making sure they all get in there, and if she didn't, honestly guys, I'd kick her off the project and fire her. So moving on from that, like I said, today's topic is things to consider when you're buying an RV. This was again sent in by Jay. Like I said, he's an admin in the Facebook group. He's actually sent in a couple of really good topic suggestions. Like I said, this one's going to be a two-parter because it's ginormous. So first things first, we're going to dive right into this. Is the first thing you have to consider is the expense of RVs. And I don't just mean the initial upfront cost. I know that there are people that sell them, at the beginning and end of every season because they didn't use them like they thought they were gonna use them, and you can get some decent, good quality, trailers and RVs at a good price. But you have to remember too that they require a lot of maintenance. They also, your registration is going to be more expensive if you get like a Class E, or I'm sorry, a Class A or a Class C or something like that, where it's got its own it's got its own power plant to move itself down the road. That's basically another vehicle that requires another, depending on your local and state laws, that may be another inspection that you have to do. You're gonna have to put a tag on it pretty much anywhere in the United States, any of the 50 states that you live in. So that's another tag fee that you have to take care of. Taxes on it, that's another piece of property, so it's property tax. So they are very expensive. That is, by far the first thing you have to consider is, are you willing to put forth that amount of money? The next thing is they require a lot of maintenance. I know I said that in that RVs are expensive, but they also require a lot of time and maintenance too. Whether you're going to do it yourself or you're going to pay somebody else to do it. So that's why sort of maintenance gets its own category as well. Everything from making sure that the roof is sealed, making sure it's got a good coat of wax on it so you don't have your fiberglass delaminate. Stuff on the inside that you have to do to it. You got to winterize it every year. Keeping the tires up. I mean, just I can sit here and do a probably 45-minute long video just listing things that you have to do to it. And all that stuff takes time, and time is money. Whether it's again, you doing it yourself or you paying somebody to do it. For me in the summertime, time is really expensive because of what I do. I don't have a lot of free time in the summer, so I got to make sure that if I'm going to do something, it's something I really want to do, because I might take me 3 weeks before I get back to doing something that I want to do again. So, the next thing is you need a place to store it. If you live in a homeowners association, I can just about guarantee you that they're not going to let you park it in your driveway. So that sort of goes back to cost again. If you have to pay a storage place to store it somewhere, a storage place is probably going to charge you, I mean, I don't know, I'm sort of guessing here, $50, something like that, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter what it is. Even if it's $10 at the end of the year, it's $120 extra you had to spend on it. So a couple of things to just keep in mind too with storing it is there's always the possibility of theft. Somebody steals your battery off of it, somebody steals your propane tanks off of it, or who knows what else they might steal off of it. Again, that sort of goes back to time, because if you're going to pull your propane tanks off and your battery off and put locks on all this different stuff every time you have to store it, that's additional time. So consider those things. They also require a lot of gear. You need your power cord, you need your water hose, you need your sewer hose, you need all these different items. You can take the pots and the pans out of the house and put them in the trailer when you're going to go somewhere. Honestly, we tried doing that, and after the first trip I was like, this is the dumbest idea we have ever had. We were going out and we were getting pots and pans because this is stupid. We spent 3.5 hours loading and unloading the thing because we take our pots and pans in and out. I'm like, this is dumb. Consider that, a lot of that gear, because it's tagged as like RV stuff, and RVs are technically considered luxury items. Well, they're not technically considered luxury items. RVs are luxury items. So because of that, and they get a, they charge you a little more for it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Now, this is one that I hear a lot, though. I hear a lot of people with the argument of it's cheaper than a hotel. Depending on what hotel you're staying in, that might be true. If you're staying in like the Four Seasons, it probably is cheaper than that. If you're staying in like a budget Motel 6 with black and white TV, it's probably not cheaper than that, because you got to pay, insurance on it every month, and you got to pay, if you're making payments on it, you got to make payments on it every month. And then you still got to pay for a campground, for a place to park it overnight. So I think that cheaper than a hotel argument is kind of stupid. I will say this. I am more comfortable sleeping in my own bed and, you know, preparing my own meal and stuff like that than I really am staying in a hotel and going out to eat. So for me, you know, it's not cheaper than a hotel, but for me, it's more enjoyable because I'm not worried about, you know, like, did the person that slept in this bed before me not shower for like 3 weeks or something, or have bubonic plague because they're an anti-vaxxer. But it's not always a better option than a hotel either. So, for example, we are taking a trip in April of 2020. We're going out to see a show in Nashville. It's a comedy show. We're going to be out there for about 4 days, I think. To be honest with you, as far as we have to drive, for us to go out there and basically do like a drive out, see the shows, turn around and come back, it's not worth it. Monica is not comfortable driving the truck with the RV or with the trailer behind it and stuff with it yet, so it would basically be me doing all the driving for 7 hours, I think, one way from where we are. So that's a lot of driving in 4 days. So we're gonna get a hotel for that one, just because, like I said, it's the better of the options at this moment. So that's where, you know, that's pretty much the whole list of things that should tell you don't ever buy an RV or a camper. But if none of those things have scared you off, there's only really one thing left you got to consider, and that is, what are you looking for? You know, what size are you looking for? You know, how many people are going to be in it? You know, how often are you going to be using it? What style are you looking for? Are you looking, and this sort of goes along with size to a degree. You know, are you looking for like a pop-up, something, because maybe you do live in a homeowners association, it has to be stored in your garage. So a pop-up would be a good idea, or a good compromise there. You know, you roll it in the garage when you're getting ready to take it out, you know, the night before you take it out, load all your stuff up and head out the next day. What are some of the options that, you know, are like must-have options? You know, is an indoor shower and bathroom arrangement something that you must have on yours? If so, then a pop-up is probably not going to be, you know, a choice for you. Is an outdoor kitchen something that you must have? You know, separated bedroom from the living space. You know, most fifth wheels have that. So things to consider, and also keep in mind too, what are you going to be towing it with? You know, if you're using a pickup truck, know the limitations of your pickup truck. You know, most 1500 half-ton pickup trucks out there are not going to accommodate a fifth wheel. So keep that in mind. I'll give you a quick story about why we chose this trailer over another trailer that we were looking at. When we were looking at the trailers, we were kind of in between, do we get this Sonic here, or do we get a pop-up? We had found a little pop-up that we really liked, and we were talking to a couple of different people that had trailers and stuff like that, and we had recently just gotten Django, our black lab. If you're not familiar with our black lab, go watch like any of the other videos that aren't Tailgate Talks, and he's in them. But we had just gotten Django, and somebody was talking to us, and they said, well, are you going to bring your dog camping with you? And I was like, well, yeah, that's half the idea why I want the stupid thing, because I can't bring him to the hotel. And they said, well, you probably don't want a pop-up then. And I was, well, why not? Why wouldn't I want a pop-up? I mean, what difference does it make if I got the dog? I'm not going to be, you know, I'm looking for a place to sleep more than anything. And they made a really, really good, really valid point. They said, what if you go somewhere and you're there for 3 or 4 days and it's nothing but 3 or 4 days of rain? You, your wife, and the dog are all going to be trapped in that little tiny space. You know, get something a little bit bigger. That way you guys have a little bit of room to move around. Now, if that's not a problem with you, or for you, I mean, by all means, get a pop-up if you don't care. God's honest truth, I saw last camping trip we were on, we ran into a couple that was in a slides in the bed of your truck style camper with was it 5 dogs, 4 or 5 dogs. So it was the 2 of them and there were 5 dogs in there, and they were not small dogs. I'm not talking about these little ankle biters that run around and yip and yap. These were like large beagles. I think one was a walker. So I mean, good sized dogs. And they did have a lab as well. So I mean, it is possible. It's just all about what you need. What's going to keep you comfortable. You don't want to be biting anybody's head off because you just don't have enough space because of a rainy weekend. But that is all that I'm going to cover on this video for that stuff. Like I said, this is going to be a 2-parter. The next part is going to be things to actually look at when you have decided what you're looking for a camper. You've already said, this is what I want, these are the options that I want to go look at trailers now because I'm getting to where I'm ready to purchase. That's going to be all the stuff to go over on that, and what to look at, what to look for, things like that. So stay tuned for that one. Actually, our next couple videos, the next video is actually going to be the M12 inflator review. And the reason that I'm not doing these 2 ones about buying the trailers back to back is because the next one is going to be very in-depth, and I want to make sure that I have enough time to shoot it and edit it and go through it and give it the proper work and effort that it deserves. So that's the next 2 in the lineup. After that, we have an interview coming up with a guy called Corbin Lunsford. If you guys don't know who Corbin is, Google or type in on the search bar on YouTube. You can search his name, Corbin, Corbin Lunsford, and we'll actually put a link to his YouTube channel in this as well. He actually built his own trailer, RV, essentially, and he did some really cool stuff with it, and we have the opportunity to do an interview with him. So if any of you guys have questions, again, email that to us. Put it in the Facebook group. There's going to be a post going up here shortly, if it's not already up by the time this video comes out, asking for questions that you guys may have. So think about all that stuff, and as always, guys, stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys on the next video.